Hello, my beautiful wildflowers. How are you today? Alexis here with Modesty. Today, I got this look using the Naked Reloaded. And if you're interested in seeing how I did it, please stay tuned. Okay, welcome back, my beautiful wildflowers. So as I was saying today, we will be working with the Naked Reloaded, and this is a brand new palette for me. I just picked this up at the sale, the spring sale for Sephora, and the reason why I picked this up is because this is the only Naked palette that I did not own. I own the rest of the collection, and what I want to do is I want to do a ranking for you, but in order for me to do that, I have to use this one here first. So what I did was last week sometime I posted the Naked Cherry, and so my intentions are to go ahead and use every one of these and do a short tutorial and my thoughts on each of the palettes. And at the end of it, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and rank it for you to let you know which one I like the best. And all of the other Naked palettes I've used multiple times. Some I've hit pan on, and this one though is brand new to me. And I never really thought to get this one is because of the color story. It's a little bit cool on a cool side, and I do like my colors on a warm side, but although I am neutral, so I could use both. I can get away with both of them. And so, but I thought in order to really give it a fair shake, I do need to go ahead and get this one. So now I do own all of the collection, and so I'll be able to rank them for you. And like I said, this is going to be a series until I complete them, and I will try to give you on my ranking video, I think, yeah, I'll go ahead and put the year that they came out, so that way you know what order I came in. And so, yeah, and of course, you know, recently they released a new Naked palette, which is the Wild West palette, right? So that's the newest one. And I think prior to that was the Ultraviolet. So, yeah, and yeah, and I own all of those as well, and I've used them a couple of times, and I will go ahead and give you my thought as I go on, but at the end, I want to put it all together like a catalog and let you know, let me rank it for you, okay? And so let's get started though. I do already have my base on, and what I did was I used my MAC Painterly, and here it is. I started to use this a little more often than the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is my go-to. Because I want to give it kind of like the color of I want to cover up the veins and things like that underneath, but I also want to go with a little bit more of my natural color. And you know that this one here is quite white, and so especially with the colors that I'm using, I want to be a little neutral, so like this, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and the first thing I will do is I have not yet set my base, so I want to go ahead and set that. I'm going to do that by using this fluffy brush, and I will go into this color Buff right here. And as you notice in this palette, I like and I appreciate is the fact the base colors that you would normally use for all over is slightly larger than the rest of them, as well as the one on the end here, which you would use pretty much for every look. So these two you would use for almost every look. This is for like underneath the brow bone, and this one here for the base. So, you know, I really appreciate that. I think that's needed because I noticed that those are the ones that I usually hit pan on, and I get kind of, you know, upset about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the base color all over the place, and this is just to set my my primer. Okay, and I am going to a little bit avoid directly underneath my brows though, because I want to keep that a little bit lighter, okay? And I just call this color Buff. Actually, it's Blur, and the other in my other naked palette, it's Buff, but this is called Blur, B-L-U-R. So okay, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there with the medium fluffy brush, and I will go ahead and go into let's see, Boundaries, which is the one next to it, and this will be my transition color. There is a little bit of kick up on this one, more so than the Naked Cherry. The Naked Cherry one actually had almost no kick up at all. This one has a little bit of a slight kick up here, and I'm noticing that. And this will be my transition color. I'm going to go a little bit higher than my crease, in my crease and above my crease a little bit, so I can use this as a transition. And as you guys know, I do have hooded eyelids. So I need to go a little bit higher than my crease. Otherwise, if I just put it in my crease, it'll get hidden. It gets sucked up in there, you see. So I have to really work this in there and above it a little bit. And next, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to this. And this is like a, I guess this is a smaller, not a medium, but a smaller fluffy brush. And I will go ahead and look at Retro for that. And that's this pinky. Yeah, this is a pinky peach here. And I just want to add a little bit of color. And I'm going to lay this around a little bit slightly above the crease line, but not too much, not as high as the other one. And I just want to go ahead and pick up a little bit of color here. And this palette actually has a lot of nice shades. They are quite dark. So I think, you know, I could lighten up this crease color. I think it'll be a little bit nicer. So. And there is, again, a little bit of kick up here on this shade, and these are mattes that I've been going into, so looks like the mattes do have a little bit of a kick up, not as bad as like Colourpop, but it's still a little bit. Yeah, and it's not, again, it's not as good as the Naked Cherry, which had like zero kick up on any of their shades. But yeah, it's okay though, because it is easily blendable. As you notice, it's blending pretty easy. And next I'll go in with this less fluffier brush. It's getting less and less fluffy as I go down the road here. And I will use the End Game. And this I will go out to the outer V and the inner eyes, I believe. This is End Game, okay? So let's see how this works out. This is where it gets tricky for me. A little bit of kick up again. And you know I'm not dusting this off. I've said that in my other videos, but in case you haven't seen it, I don't dust it off. I go directly from pan to eyelid. So you have to be really careful when I do that, especially like this type of shade. Because it could fall out. It could, you know, totally like get muddy. And I always worry with these type of shades if it'll get muddy or not. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and tap that on the side. And then from there, I will, you know what? I was thinking to go on the inside with this. I may still, but let me take a look at it as far as the outer V first. I'm trying to think because I'm looking at the colors here. What are the possibilities? Okay. Just going to go ahead and keep tapping this on until I get it nice and put in the place I want. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut half a crease in the front up until the outer V. So that gets a little bit tricky. So let me do this off camera and I'll be right back. Okay. Now, I know it looks funny, but I'm going to go in with my flat brush here. And I'm going to go into Burn. Okay, and I'm going to pat this on here. And by the way, what I did do is I used my MAC Studio Fix 24, not primer, but this is my concealer, okay? And I'm going to go ahead, and it's still a little bit wet, but that's okay because I'm going to go in there with this Burn and see what happens. Okay, this is a little bit tricky because I do have textured eyelids, and maybe I should have went something lighter, but that's okay because I could go ahead and work this. And let me just go ahead and work this in. Okay, next I'll go ahead and take this small fluffy brush, pencil brush, and go into Angel Fire right here, and see if I can lay this down on the inside to see if I can lighten this up, lighten this look up a little. And it seems like where I went wrong is that this is like maybe a dual chrome, but and it's more of a copper, which has a reflect of like dark color, and so it's kind of looks muddy to me. I'm not liking it, but let's see what happens. Let's add some shades and see if we can fix this. And like I said, this is Angel Fire. And sometimes these colors are so deceiving because it looks like one thing and it's another. So yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, live and learn, right? So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can apply this with my fingers. It looks like it might work a little better. Okay. Oh, very dark though, huh? Yeah. So it does have a shift. It has like a dark brown shift. It's copper to dark brown shift, in which case I probably wouldn't have used this shade because it really calls out the lines and textures on my eyelids. If you look, and if I'm turning, it just looks like it's cracking. It's almost like sci-fi makeup, you know? So, but that's okay. Lessons learned. That's all right. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to see if I could lighten this up a little bit on the inside with Angel Fire, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and fix the look in other ways. And I need to go ahead and do the arch. Maybe that'll lighten it up a little bit. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Lighten up the arches a little, and then put the rest of the face makeup. I think it'll help out, just take the darkness away from the eyes. And so I'll lighten it up with other ways. And that's another thing too. I mean, let's say you do your eye look and you just don't like it and you don't have time to redo it, to wash it off. I thought about, oh, I should wash this off and do something else. But you know what? You could also make up for it by lighten up your face or whatever it may be. So yeah, so don't give up. Don't give up. We have these days. And also, this is the first time I use this palette, and I didn't realize this burn has a dual chrome. It shifts to dark brown, which is weird, but no, that's okay. It's all good. So anyway, I did dig into these colors though, as you notice. Look, I mean, it's like, uh-oh. And I'm digging in there, so okay. But that's okay though. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and put on the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. This is the final look I came up with. I know it's a little shocking with the red lips, but this is Giorgio Armani's famous number 400, and he does have these and matte and also liquid lipstick like this, and I think in satin as well, but it is quite shocking. But this is a blue red, and I really like this cool tone red. And the reason why I did this is because to detract from my eyes, because I'm not really happy with the final, I guess, the final look, which is a little bit dark, and the shift is very dark, and it actually shifts to a dark from a copper to like a dark brown, and makes it kind of look dirty to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe it's just how I'm looking at it and how I'm thinking about it. And also, the bottom, I did go ahead and put the same color as I have on top. And I used a brush without adding any more. And it is the End Game is the name of the color. And then also Boundaries. And so I did do that. And as usual, my mascara is the MAC. And far as my foundation, I did use the new Marc Jacobs, and this is the Extra Shot, and I really, really liked this, how it went on. It went on really easy, and I mean, it went on very smooth, and I was able to do it with the new brush that I got from Sephora, and this worked really well too. I didn't need to go back with the sponge and kind of, pat it like I normally do. So both of those are wins. And as far as Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, my cheeks, it's the same by Terry. This is what I use. The highlighter, the same thing too. I don't want to do anything too crazy with the cheeks, so I didn't go here. I actually went here and here. And so these are the two colors that I did use. And I did set under the eyes with my by Terry hyaluronic acid sample, you know, the white powder, the packed powder. And I think I'm probably gonna have to end up getting, you know, a full size of this, because this actually worked out. It works out really well, and I've been using it for like what, a couple of weeks now. And as far as I did use my under eye concealer and a Clinique, and it worked out just as good. And so I'm really happy about the buy so far, guys. As far as what did I think about the Naked Reloaded? The thing I don't know, there's not a whole lot of options when I look at this color story. You know, there is a little bit of kick up, definitely a lot more than the Naked Cherry. But I'll have to remember back to, I think also Naked 3 is, I think that is my favorite, but that's a different story on a ranking video. But I know that doesn't have the kick up that this does. But I need to try it a couple of times more. But I'm not inspired by this color story. That's the problem. I mean, you know, it looks really nice, and you could probably look at it, and if you're into these type of shades, you could probably make a few looks out of it. And this is actually very neutral in my eyes, neutral and neutral cool. And so this is okay for work. You know, if you're doing something for work and things like that, actually, my Naked 1, I mean, that's all I used to use to go to work with, right? 1 and 3. And so, yeah, it works for that. But I think I'm looking for something more a little adventurous, I guess, these days, so I can try different things. But I'm not saying it's bad, but not my favorite palette. Yeah. And so, but I'll use it a couple of more times to let you know what I think about it, because I did not know the shift of this burn color, and that it actually, these are not really good for somebody with texture, because it makes it, dual chrome is really difficult for somebody with texture, especially, you know, I did go in there and I cut the crease, which I should have let the highlighter, the concealer actually dry. It was this one, sorry about that. And it might have came out a little bit better, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Here you go. Take a look. This is the finished product. And tell me about the look. Honestly, I mean, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's too dark? Do you think it's just, you know, blah, boring? I don't know. So let me know below, okay? So my beautiful Wildflowers, thank you so much for your time. And I hope you enjoyed it. And this was number 2 of my series. Number 1 was the Naked Cherry, and then this is the Naked Reloaded. And I will be doing other Naked palettes, using Naked palettes in a look. So more exciting ones like Naked Heat. I love that one. Naked Honey, love that one too. And so yeah, stay tuned for that. So if I added any value, please hit like. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching, you guys come day in and day out watching, please do consider subscribing and ringing that bell button, so that way you will know every time I upload a new video. Okay, my beautiful Wildflowers, I want you to have a good day, a good night, a good week, or good weekend, as I always tell you whenever you're watching this. But always remember, never sweat the small stuff. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.